20 and back is the standard phrase used to describe the tour of duty undergone by recruits into the SSP, secret space program. The term 20 and back refers to the 20-year commitment that these military men and women make when they sign up to go into space, or the amount of time they are forced to serve as slaves. Recent whistleblowers to divulge their involvement in the SSP are Tony Rodriguez, who went public in 2016, and Michael Gerloff, who went public this year in 2017. Their testimonies are remarkable, and echo the accounts and experiences of many other whistleblowers who have recalled lost memories or gone public with their story of having been part of the SSP. These include Michael Rolfe, Arthur Newman, aka Henry Deacon, Andy Bejago, Bernard Mendez, Michael Prince, Max Spears, Randy Kramer, aka Captain K or K, and Corey Good. Their accounts vary in credibility, however the similarities are striking. Many of these men talk about having set foot on Mars, but only some, Rolfe, Kramer, and Good, specifically refer to the 20 and back military program as Rodriguez and Gerloff do. 20 and back equals time travel and age regression. One of the alleged hallmarks of the 20 and back program is that it involves highly advanced technology, time travel and age regression, whereby the recruit, at the end of his/her service, is actually brought back in time to the point at which he/she signed up, plus they are age regressed to be brought back to their age at that time. This means, in effect, that they gain a whole extra 20 years experience in life, although often those memories are inaccessible and buried deep within their subconscious. In other words, they live that same age range/period in their lives twice over, in different places doing different things, and only one of those timelines remains active. 20 and back, Tony Rodriguez worked as a slave on a cargo ship in the SSP. Tony Rodriguez was abducted as a young boy and eventually ended up in the 20 and back program. He claims he was abducted by 5 aliens after teasing another kid in his grade whose father was high up in the Illuminati. He had gray ETS in his house. He met a funny reptilian who joked around with him and did a Bruce Lee impersonation. He ended up in a situation where he was used with other children as sex slaves in Seattle at age 13. He underwent brutal training, including sexual abuse and being forced to attend satanic ritual and engage in cannibalism. He or his group tested as Theta, psychic. Later on at age 16 in 1988, he went to the moon. During his time in the SSP, Tony was treated as a slave and had to work incredibly hard. He and the other recruits were treated with a carrot and stick mentality, i.e. either rewarded or punished. He worked as cargo officer on a ship within the solar system, dropping off cargo at various bases, including moons of other planets, e.g. Enceladus on Saturn. He reveals how some of the cargo was advanced alien technology, nuclear missiles far more sophisticated than terrestrial nuclear weapons. He mostly worked on Ceres, the largest asteroid in solar system, in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. There was a large base concealed in darkness at a location on Ceres where the sun doesn't shine. Tony recalls visiting many Earth-like planets during his SSP time. The fact that he recalls so many details, some minor, some major, from his time working in the SSP lends credence to his account. For instance, he saw the Nazi eagle a lot on the uniforms of officials who commanded him, sometimes with a swastika below, sometimes with other symbols. He saw Ahunamans out of his spaceship window. He saw other spaceships in hangars. He describes a giant train station in Ceres with giant horses, built with scaffolding, in an underground cavern. The slave workers were constantly spied on, but no one could see the cameras. Despite being a slave, he occasionally got paid small amounts, e.g. $20, in a currency called francs, which looked like an old Germanic currency. There were facial recognition technological devices for shopping there. There were automatic translators, English, German, so he could converse with some of the grumpy, middle-aged female German shopkeepers there. There was artificial telepathy, with the machine, as opposed to natural/organic telepathy, and he used an incredibly fast train system there for transportation. This train system used magnetics. You could get anywhere on Ceres within 30 minutes, despite the fact that it's 580 miles in diameter. 20 and back, Michael Gerloff watched from a young age. Michael Gerloff is a Marine whistleblower who claims he was recruited into the SSP at age 18 in 1978. He displayed psychic abilities from young age, e.g. at age 3 he had left his body and had a OBE, out-of-body experience. Gerloff later found out that his DNA doesn't match that of his parents. Gerloff doesn't have as much memory recall as Rodriguez, but the way he describes being recruited into, and returned from, the SSP is fascinating. He claims he was training to be a Marine when, in the middle of a test, he was taken aside by a captain and invited to be part of the Space Corps. This is in line with Randy Kramer's claims of working for the UMSCSS or the United States Marine Corps Special Section. Once Gerloff accepted, he was taken to a room with a load of paperwork, and recalls Lockheed Martin being part of that paperwork. He asked the captain if he could make a call, which the captain denied, but the captain did say he would send Gerloff's family a military telegram, a Marsgram, to let them know that Gerloff was safe. Gerloff remembers being told about the 20 and back program, and being promised that he would be brought back in time at the completion of his tour of duty. After the 20 years had passed, he was taken right back to the very moment where he signed up, into the same room, into the same chair, with the same captain sitting there. He was very dazed and discombobulated, and he couldn't quite work out what had happened. He went to serve in the regular Marine Corps for some time. He recalls that there was something about that Marsgram telegram, and about conflict with North Korea, topical in the news now, that may have been intended to trigger his memories. He also recalls some interesting details. After his time in the SSP, when he went to serve in the regular Marines, he sustained a calf injury and noticed, during boot camp, that it began festering as though his body were rejecting something. He pulled out a small, mucus-like sphere, the size of a BB gun pellet. He flushed it down the toilet at the time, but now in hindsight thinks it was a tracking device. He also recalls volunteering for experiments with a new big pharma drug called Halcyon in a military program. In his interviews, Gerloff displays a strong commitment to the truth. He states that secrecy has made us less as a nation. Was he officially sanctioned to come forward at this time with his disclosure testimony by a USMC intelligence group running the Space Marines? How credible are these whistleblowers? The big question with these whistleblower testimonies will always be, how credible are they? In Gerloff's case, he has some documentation, but it relates to his time in the regular part of the military, not the space branch. Dr. Michael Salla, a leading expert in the area of exopolitics and a man to whom many new whistleblowers turn, states that he vetted Rodriguez, with the help of two of Salla's colleagues, for over 1 year before publicly interviewing him. In general, I trust Salla's judgment, although it should be noted that another great researcher in the field, Bill Ryan, co-founder of Project Camelot and current moderator of Project Avalon, vehemently speaks out against the credibility of whistleblower Corey Goode, whom Salla believes and whose information Salla uses. Bill Ryan outlines his grave concerns about Goode's truthfulness in several places, including this interview with dark journalist Daniel List. In discussing how credible Goode, aka Goodetsk, is, Salla writes, "In my own database of whistleblowers, contacts, leaked documents, and breaking news on the secret space program, I have found nothing awry in Goodetsk's claims." His claim of separate space programs is consistent with Randy Kramer's claims that he served with the Earth Defense Force, a multinational alliance, for 17 years on Mars to defend 5 civilian bases belonging to the Mars Colony Corporation. In his alleged 17 years on Mars, Kramer claims he never once ventured into the Mars Colony Corporation facilities, even for R&R. That appeared strange to me when I first heard of it. That degree of formal separation between military and corporate bases on Mars, however, supports Goodetsk's claims of separate space programs. Goodetsk claims that he served a 20-year tour of service with the secret space program, before being age-regressed back to a time shortly after his duty began. Essentially, this allowed him to live a 20-year time span twice. Also, his memories were wiped or blank-slated, and Gudetsk, now a civilian, was encouraged not to rejoin any military service in case that triggered memory recall of his prior 20-year service. This is consistent with the claims of Michael Rolfe, the Mars Record, and Randy Kramer, Earth Defense Force, who say they went through a similar security process. Final thoughts. With any kind of whistleblower testimony, you have to develop your own discernment filter to attempt to gauge the truthhood of it. The above two whistleblowers may be pioneers pointing the way to a parallel breakaway civilization which is developing and unfolding in staggering ways, right as we live our normal lives on Earth. Certainly, there are similarities among what 20 and back whistleblowers Michael Rolfe, Randy Kramer, Corey Goode, Tony Rodriguez, and Michael Gerloff are telling us. In Rolfe's case, the information was drawn out over a long period of time by Stephanie Rolfe, later his wife, a professional therapist who conducted hypnotherapy sessions with him. In so many ways, truth is stranger than fiction. Do you think the 20 and back program and SSP exist? Let us know in the comments below.